It was just after 8:30 p.m., one of those cool, dry California evenings where the desert air settles still and the stars feel a little too close. You know the kind of night I'm talking about. Quiet, familiar, safe. But on that night, something happened over the largest Marine Corps base in the United States. 29 Palms. It spans nearly 200 square miles, and if you've ever been near it, you know there's nothing out there but hard training, live fire drills, and serious national security. It's not a place for games or imagination. That night, though, dozens of trained Marines looked up and froze. Lights appeared in the sky, silent, still, unfamiliar. At first, it seemed like maybe a training exercise, until the object just hovered. No sound, no descent, no movement, just hanging in the air above a classified military base like it had every right to be there. Now, I want you to think about that. If this can happen at a high-security base with combat-ready troops, imagine what could be flying over your town tonight and you'd never know. We've been told to trust the system, to wait for answers. But what if the answers never come unless we start asking louder? What if the story hasn't been buried? It's just been ignored. You're not the only one with questions, and you're not crazy to feel like the skies aren't as simple as they once were. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's an unexplained event, and you have a right to know what's in your airspace, because this isn't just their story, it's our story. So stay with me, because what we've uncovered so far is just the beginning. And the truth? It might be closer than we think. It appeared without warning, floating silently in the dark desert sky. A black, triangular shape, unlike anything our military had ever identified. 5 reddish-orange lights, arranged in a perfect V formation, held their place in the air, motionless, soundless, and chillingly deliberate. These weren't aircraft, not helicopters, not flares. And if you've served or lived near a base, you know what military equipment looks and sounds like. But this was different. Now imagine looking up into the night from your own backyard, maybe sipping coffee or walking the dog, and seeing that, a massive, quiet craft hovering just overhead. No engine hum, no blinking aviation lights, just stillness for over 10 minutes. Long enough to make you reach for your phone, your binoculars, or your rosary. What haunts those who witnessed it isn't just the craft itself, it's what it wasn't. These men and women know illumination rounds. They handle artillery every day. They describe the colors as wrong, the flight behavior as impossible. The lights didn't drift down like flares. They hovered. And the shape beneath them? Solid, real, tangible. The size, some said, of a 3-bedroom home. Just suspended in the air like it didn't care we were watching. And still, silence. No roar of jets, no booming artillery. Just silence. That's what lingers. That's what crawls back into your mind when the lights go out and the room is too quiet. If something like this can sit over a US military base undetected and unchallenged, we have to ask, what else is out there? And why aren't we being told the truth? You are not alone in wondering. The more we uncover, the closer we get. But we're not there yet. And maybe, just maybe, you have a missing piece of the puzzle. They weren't conspiracy theorists, they were Marines. More than 50 of them, young men and women trained in warfare, discipline and precision, all witnessed something so baffling that they still hesitate to describe it out loud. It appeared silently above Camp Wilson, attached to the vast 29 Palms Marine Base. Not a sound, not a warning, just there, hanging in the night sky like a secret that didn't belong. One of them, a mortar specialist, pulled out his phone, an ordinary iPhone, and aimed it toward the eerie lights. He wasn't trying to go viral. He just needed proof for himself. What the image captured was more than a cluster of lights. It revealed the outline of something solid, something structured, a black, triangular shape, not part of any training exercise, not familiar to any of them. And that's what stayed with him. Not fear, not confusion, but the deep, gnawing need to understand. Many of these Marines had worked with illumination rounds. They knew what flares looked like, how they fell, how they flickered, how they faded. But these lights didn't behave that way. They held position. They hovered for 10 minutes, maybe longer. And no one, not one single soldier, could identify what they were looking at. You can't help but wonder, if those trained to protect our skies can't recognize what's hovering overhead, then what chance do the rest of us have? They've come forward now, not to cause panic, but to find each other, to compare stories, piece together a truth that's being ignored. Maybe you've seen something too, a light, a shadow, a moment you've carried for years in silence. You're not alone, and we haven't seen the last of this. Jeremy Corbell didn't wait for permission. When whispers of a strange incident at 29 Palms began circulating, he didn't shrug it off or wait for a press release. He acted. No official report, no public statement. Just a quiet tip that something unexplained hovered above the largest Marine base in the US, and that someone might have caught it on camera. It was enough. Within 36 hours, Jeremy had tracked down over 50 eyewitnesses. Some were active duty Marines. Others had nothing to gain by speaking out. And all of them described the same thing. A silent, triangular craft suspended mid-air for over 10 minutes. Not flares, not drones, not anything they'd seen before. Now pause. Think about that. These are trained observers, people who know military hardware, people like your nephews, sons, grandkids, people you trust with a gun and a uniform, and they're telling us this wasn't one of ours. That's why Jeremy didn't wait. He compiled footage, testimonies, metadata, every trace he could get his hands on. Then he released it. Not through some flashy cable network, but straight to the public, because that's where truth belongs. He didn't care that it would bring backlash. He cared that something happened, and nobody was talking about it. And maybe that's the part that sticks with you the most. The silence. The thought that something massive might be flying over our skies, over our troops, and no one has answers. Or worse, someone does, and they're not sharing. It gnaws at you, keeps you wondering long after the video ends. But there's hope. Jeremy believes in crowdsourcing the truth, and you're part of that crowd. If you were at 29 Palms, or if you've seen something strange near your own town, your voice matters. Maybe you hold the missing piece. Maybe the answer isn't out there, it's already with us. After the strange triangular craft vanished into the darkness above the 29 Palms Marine base, everything changed. For a moment, there was stillness, almost like the night was holding its breath. Then, chaos. A flurry of military helicopters suddenly took off, racing toward the last known location of the lights. Their blades chopped through the silence like a warning, like they knew exactly what they were chasing. But what's more unsettling isn't what we saw, it's what we weren't supposed to. Just minutes after the object disappeared, a convoy, 60 or more trucks strong, rumbled down those desert roads in formation. Lights off. No explanations, no official statement. If you've served or lived through the Cold War, you know that when things go quiet, it often means something big is being buried. And here's where it gets personal. This isn't just some sci-fi campfire tale. This happened on US soil, over a live military training ground, with American servicemen watching in real time, powerless to explain what they saw. If this can happen above 932 square miles of secured military land in California, then ask yourself, what could show up above your neighborhood, your farm, your city? Or what they saw left them speechless. What came after left them suspicious. And now, many of us, veterans, civilians, skeptics and believers alike, are left asking, why is no one talking about this? You're not alone in wondering. The silence from those in charge only fuels our drive to know more. Every unanswered question, every unexplained maneuver makes the truth feel closer, like it's just beyond the horizon, if we keep looking. So we ask again, What were they chasing? And perhaps more importantly, who already knows the answer? It used to feel like we knew what was flying in our skies. Planes made noise, helicopters had rotors, even military drills followed patterns we recognized. But now, something's changed. And if you've lived through decades of watching the Cold War, missile crises and stealth tech evolve, you'll know when something doesn't fit. Imagine sitting on your porch in the California desert, stars overhead, calm air brushing past, and then, without warning, a set of lights appears. Not blinking, not moving, just hanging there in dead silence. No wind, no hum, nothing. 10, maybe 20 minutes pass. Then it disappears. Just gone. No trail, no sound, no explanation. This isn't just about lights in the sky. It's about how no one's explaining them. Our government has already told us UFOs, UAPs are real. But we don't know who's behind the wheel. And here's the kicker. They fly over restricted military bases with zero resistance. That's not just mysterious, that's deeply unsettling. What if this isn't just a fluke? What if it's been happening all along but we were never told? Doesn't that deserve answers? Many veterans are now coming forward. Farmers, former engineers, people like you. You're not crazy and you're not alone. This is bigger than one sighting. It's a pattern. And that's why this video isn't just about what was that? It's about why haven't we been told? We're piecing together something the official channels won't touch. And we need your eyes, your memories, and your questions. Because this time the truth won't come from them. It'll come from us, from you. And maybe, just maybe, we're finally close to understanding what's really out there. We've seen events like this before. Strange lights in the sky, vehicles defying gravity, and silence where there should be sound. But each time it happens, it still grips us. It reminds us that something is out there, just beyond our understanding. You might remember the Tic Tac UFO incident back in 2004, off the coast of San Diego. Seasoned Navy pilots, men and women who trained for years to identify every aircraft in the sky, chased an object they couldn't explain. It moved in ways no jet or drone ever could. That wasn't just speculation, it was captured on radar, on sensors, seen by human eyes. And then there was the 2019 swarm, where at least 10 US Navy warships off the coast of California reported being surrounded, yes, surrounded, by unidentified aerial vehicles, night after night. These weren't hallucinations. These were coordinated flight patterns over military vessels with classified capabilities. You don't forget that kind of detail, and neither should we. What happened at 29 Palms echoes these past encounters. And that should give you pause, because this isn't just a headline or a late-night talk show topic. This is our airspace, our sons and daughters in uniform witnessing something no one can identify. And yet, where is the national outrage? Where's the official explanation? This pattern, the sightings, the silence, the sense that someone somewhere knows more but won't speak. It's enough to make you wonder, are we being protected or just kept in the dark? You're not alone if this unsettles you. Many of us are watching, remembering, connecting the dots. And while we may not have the answers yet, we're getting closer. One story at a time, one truth at a time. Stick with us, because the next piece of this puzzle might come from you. As we wrap up this investigation, I want you to think for a moment. What if it was you who witnessed something like this? Imagine standing in the night at a military base and looking up to see a craft, silent, hovering, unmoving. The unsettling truth is, this isn't some far-off mystery. It's happening right now, and it could very well happen anywhere, even in your own backyard. Could it be that these strange sightings are closer than we think, just beyond the sky we've always taken for granted? This question lingers, doesn't it? The thought that there is so much we still don't understand, that our world, our very airspace, might not be as controlled or secure as we thought. The fact that these encounters continue to happen, and yet we have so little concrete information, is something that nags at the back of your mind long after the video ends. It's not just about a single UFO incident anymore. It's about a system that refuses to give us clear answers. Could the government, for all its power, be withholding something from us? And why? But here's the thing. You are not alone in this. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people asking these same questions, pushing for answers. People just like you who are wondering, what is the truth and why haven't we been told? The call to action is clear. We need to demand transparency. This isn't just a story for UFO enthusiasts or conspiracy theorists. This is a matter of justice, of uncovering a hidden truth that could change everything. It's about being informed, being part of the community that's seeking answers. The truth isn't out of reach. It's waiting to be uncovered, and the more voices we have, the more likely we are to find it. Stay tuned. There's more coming. This is just the beginning, and together we will get to the bottom of it.